In the early 16th century, a legend began to spread slowly from the mountains of South America to the courts of Europe. A story that sounded too impossible. And precisely because of that, the rulers were infatuated with it. The legend of El Dorado, a city of gold that supposedly shone like the sun. A city said to hold limitless treasures, enough to allow a king to rule the world. And when the story reached the ears of the Spanish Emperor, Charles V, the obsession turned into madness. At first, it was just a rumor about a Muisca leader who was covered in gold, dust, and bathed in a sacred lake as a religious ritual. But when the story reached Europe, it changed. The spiritual ritual was transformed into a vision of a city made entirely of pure gold. Charles V, facing war and debt across Europe, saw El Dorado not as a myth, but as the answer. He ordered a massive expedition. Hundreds of soldiers, thousands of pieces of equipment, and ambitions too great to be supported by reality were brought into the wild Amazon jungle. But the further they traveled, the more the legend turned to terror. The jungle closed their path. Wild rivers swallowed the small boats they had built. Warriors, accustomed to facing armed enemies, now battled tropical diseases, hunger, and a fear they had never known before. Night after night, mysterious sounds echoed from the depths of the jungle until no one knew anymore whether they were animals, enemies, or merely the hallucinations of those who had lost hope. Expedition after expedition was ruined. Thousands of lives were lost, but the emperor remained convinced. Every report of golden glitter in the mountains compelled him to send new expeditions, until finally one of the most daring explorers appeared, Francisco de Orellana. He followed the unknown river, thinking it would lead them to the heart of El Dorado. But what they found was not a city of gold, but a mighty river unlike any they had ever imagined. The Amazon River. Their greatest discovery came in pursuit of something that never existed. When the survivors returned, their bodies were nothing but bones, and their hands were empty. But Charles V still refused to believe. He sent another expedition, and another, until the final verse of this tragedy was written clearly. Thousands died for a legend that was never proven. And here's the little-known twist. For the Muisca, El Dorado wasn't a city, nor was it treasure. El Dorado was a title for a leader who underwent a ritual of gold as a symbol of purity and sacrifice. In other words, Europe had been searching for decades for a place that never existed. And the deranged Spanish emperor finally realized that the city of gold he had so desperately pursued had existed only as an illusion inside his own head.